So after you guys ceased becoming best friends, just in passing.
Just in passing, cause my group of friends was her base.
Mm-hmm.
She always come back to us. She'd go find different groups of friends, meet new people, but always come back to us.
When you guys were best friends and she went out to go with you shopping or wherever, who would watch Kaylee?
A lot of times Kaylee would be with us.
Okay, when she wasn't with you, who would watch Kaylee?
I assumed it was her mother.
Did she ever tell you anyone else watched Kaylee? I know you guys had some common friends back sometime before the Sports Authority thing.
I know that Lauren Gibbs used to watch her when she was an infant, when Kaylee was first born. When that stopped, I don't know. When Lauren stopped watching her, but she may have mentioned the nanny once or twice, but...
Do you think about that real hard? Did she mention her that you can recall, or is that just from recent events? Maybe that's planted in your mind.
Maybe
now?
That's why that's planted in my head. On a
So
specific date and time.
You couldn't swear that you ever heard Casey Anthony refer to the nanny? You couldn't swear 100%?
One time, I know for sure. July 5th, 11 days before she was arrested on the 16th, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So July 5th was the last time that I saw her before she was arrested. She definitely mentioned that day, oh, she's with the nanny. Because I remember my dad ran into her a week or two before, saw Casey at a liquor store, and my dad asked about Kaylee. And I said, oh, my dad ran into you, he didn't say anything to you because he didn't know if you'd recognize him. He didn't see Kaylee. And I was like, was Kaylee with you? And she said to me, no, I wouldn't bring my daughter to a liquor store. Are you crazy?
So that's the first time you ever heard Casey mention a nanny.
That
was
one
on
time
the
I know
5th of July.
Specifically, she
last
said.
year.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Prior to that, any independent...
Not that I can recall, no, sir. I know for sure that date, though, because I remember her saying that.
And
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
What date did that occur on? The liquor store incident. And what liquor store, do you know?
I'd have to ask my dad if he remembers.
Would you be willing to do that?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay.
If he remembers, it was definitely before that, not long before that, maybe a week before.
A week before the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Had she ever mentioned to you a friend of hers by the name of Zenaida?
Not that I can recall.
In the group of friends that you had, did any one of your friends have a friend named Zenaida?
Not that I can recall.
What about Jeffrey Hopkins? I know he went to high school with you guys.
I know A. Jeffrey Hopkins.
Okay. Do you know Casey to ever date Jeffrey Hopkins? Personally, physically, seen them two together?
Physically, no. Seen them two together in a relationship type way? No, sir.
Okay. How do you tie in Jeffrey Hopkins to Casey, except for the high school part? How do you tie them both together?
No other relation.
Did Casey ever tell you she was dating Jeffrey Hopkins?
Casey told me she dated a lot of people. I don't think so, but then again, I'm not sure. Like I said, there was always a different guy that she would mention. I'm not sure.
That she ever mentioned dating a guy had a son named Zachary?
Not that I can recall.
You never mentioned anything about Kaylee having a play buddy named Zachary, same age?
She had a playmate that the person... Okay, now this is coming back to me. Someone would come over to the house and watch Kaylee and bring... I thought it was a girl, though.
Come over to which house? Who?
Her parents' house.
Okay. So it's someone
Where she lived.
Someone that would be there with her parents there.
No, it was when they were at work. Casey was at work. They would bring... It was a female. Would bring... I want to say it was a girl. A friend of Kaylee's, and they'd play. Because I remember her telling me she'd get mad because the house would be a wreck. She'd have to clean up after them. She doesn't do the dishes. She leaves toys everywhere. That's the most common story I got.
But were you ever at the house when...
No, sir, I've never...
That's just her telling you that?
That's just her telling me.
Okay.
Bear with me, because on July 5th, when you asked her that question, she made a reference to the nanny.
She said the nanny.
The nanny.
The
okay,
nanny.
That's the very first time you can recall her ever saying that. Where did that conversation take place?
Buffalo Wild Wings at Waterford Lakes. But like I said, I just rememred what she had told me before.
So the night you went out there with Sean Daly and...
it was me, Sean...
Dante? Was Dante there?
I don't think he was there.
Ison?
Yasin.
Okay.
Yasin was there. Yasin was definitely there, and a couple other people.
So that's the time she
That's
brought
the
up
first time I
nanny.
met her last boyfriend, too.
It's okay, that was my net. So she was there with who?
Tony.
Okay. So you were introduced to him.
Hi, I'm Annie. That's it.
Okay. All right. All right.
How was her relationship with her brother Lee?
They seem to be very, very close.
She ever mention any problems that she had with her brother?
Again, knowing what I know now about her lying about so much stuff,
What did she tell you at the time?
just as she'd say Lee's trying to control her life, just like her parents were. Basically, but for the most part, they appeared to have a very good relationship, like really close friends. You know, older brother, younger sister. Like I've hung out with them together.
She never mentioned any problems she had with Lee as they were growing up? What I mean, let me rephrase that because I know there's a lot of things there. Did she ever mention any problems with Lee possibly abusing her, touching her, or doing something to her while she was growing up?
No,
Never
not
mentioned.
that. No.
What about, we'll skip to George real quick. What about George? Anything about him doing that? Or
She didn't. No, she never mentioned anything like that. No. She didn't have a good. She made it seem like she didn't have a good relationship with her father, and that she did not like her father.
Okay, we'll get back to him. Back to Lee. Before when we turned off the tape, there was conversation off tape real quick about Lee and Casey, and it seemed like there might be something that you wanted to add to that. I didn't want to take you too far off track to that. So
Well, just like the last time I talked to Lee on the phone.
when was that?
I don't know an exact date.
Oh, yesterday, a week ago, a year
a
ago?
couple months ago.
Okay.
Last year, 2008,
Okay.
but a couple months ago. I couldn't tell you an exact date. I don't remember. He called me just to give me a heads up, saying that that you would be calling me, that you wanted to talk to me.
Lee gave you a heads up?
Yes.
Was this before Casey got out of jail the first time? Or has she already been in and out?
I think she had already been in and out. This was right after that conversation you just showed me. Right after that came out.
Okay.
Right after that was out on the news.
Okay. Lee called you and said I would be calling.
Yeah, because you had talked to Melina.
You know, what did he tell you to do?
He told me, or he told me that Melina had just come in, just talked to you, and he said to me, I just want to let you know they will be contacting you. They said to Melina, do you know Annie? Do you know she does drugs? Would you be willing to go try to buy drugs from her? And he told me that Melina said, no, I'm not willing to help you in any way, shape, or form. And he said, he told me, we all know Casey's done bad things, but you need to protect yourself. You need to, if they call you, you need to tell them the truth. You need to tell them anything you know. Because if you know something, you need to tell them. That was it.
Did Lee tell you to withhold any information
Absolutely
from us?
not. He said the exact opposite.
Okay.
He said, don't protect Casey.
As far as bad things go in Casey, I'll make it a very general question. We'll see where we go from it. Even Lee acknowledged that Casey's done some bad things. What bad things come to mind if I tell you Casey's done some bad, or I ask you to tell me what Casey's done that are bad? What comes to mind?
Lying to everybody she knows. Number one, she's everything I knew or thought I knew about her was a lie.
What else?
Stealing money, obviously.
Did she ever steal money from you?
Not that I know of.
In hindsight, after everything's come out, do you ever have money go missing and now you're kind of in retrospect thinking,
I couldn't place fingers on it, no.
You ever have substantial money or money go missing? And
I never
couldn't
hoard a lot
explain
of
it?
cash,
What about credit card? What about
I don't
charges
have
or something?
I don't have a credit card. I have a debit card, and that is monitored. And I would know if there was a penny missing.
So what other bad things would you say, if I asked you, as far as Casey's bad things, what else would you say that she did was bad?
The thing that I'm most hurt about is the lies and obviously stealing money from people.
What about to you personally, that you personally know? Not what you've heard, but you personally.
What the lie that she said, I think that's horrible.
How about the Xanax?
Yeah. I think that's horrible
And,
because it's made me look like somebody I'm not.
And she told you that she worked at Sports Authority when she didn't.
Mhm.
And she told you that she
She
worked
worked at
at Universal
when she did it.
when she didn't.